Hey everyone, it's Mike with the Expert Suck Sports Betting Podcast, and I am here again for the Monday Night Football showdown between the Cardinals and the Cowboys. And I am doing the NFL Showdown 75K huddle, single entry, $5, payout structure, $7,500 to first, down to $3,745 for $10. Captain mode, again, 1.5 time fantasy points for the captain mode, 5 flex spots. So I haven't been doing great lately, as some of you may know. So did a little bit more research on this game, doing the captain's mode type of setup. So let's see if I learned anything and can do better. So Cowboys are a 3.5 point favorite in this game. The over-under total points for the game is 53.5. Meaning if you're thinking this will go over, it would be about a 29-25 game with the Cowboys winning. And so that's, if you think about it, that's 4 TDs for the Cowboys around there, and then 3 TDs around there for the Cardinals. So let's jump into this. One of the things I did look up is and I'm sorting this by fantasy points per game, was typically starting with the defense there, and that's not necessarily recommended. They do recommend some of the experts, quote unquote, or ways to do these contests, recommend a high-performing wide receiver or a high-performing running back, and just kind of look at their salaries there. So the Dallas running back has been playing really good the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to throw him in there. You can see that Arizona's 20th against the run, their defense is. So that's, bottom half. So let's go ahead and do that. And then another recommendation would be to get both quarterbacks in the game. Kyler Murray is probably out for the game, so everybody's saying Jacoby Brissett is going to be in. So that gets that, and that leaves us 3 players with 5,300. If you look at the bottom right, 5,300 per player. So we got to start looking at some lower priced options here. Another recommendation: if you look at the opponent's rank against receivers, Dallas is 31st in the league, which is second to last in the league against opponents' wide receivers. So it's almost an auto play for Marvin Harrison Jr. there. Now we're looking at 3,800 for the last 2 guys. So this could get a little dicey, but we would want somebody that has huge upside, like a Zay Jones here. If he gets more targets like he did in week 6, where he had 8 targets, 5 catches, then, he goes over 12 points. So that's not bad. We could do a Zay Jones. Leaves us 3,600. Right below him is a Dallas wide receiver who does have some upside as well. If he does kind of get into the end zone. Some of these guys are more touchdown dependent than others. So I may go ahead. And if we think that Dallas is going to be the 4 touchdown team, you would rather have the receiver in that has more upside than, say, like a Michael Wilson here. Although Wilson does get a few more targets against the 31st ranked defense. Let's see what our split is. So we have 2 Dallas guys, and that would end up being 4 Arizona guys in a game that Dallas is supposed to win. So it may be better to go with the Dallas wide receiver in this case, and that was Tolbert. So let's go ahead and do that. Kind of stick to the script, stick to the process here, and just hope Javonte Williams gets into the end zone again. He had 2 TDs against Denver, he had one the week before. It looks like he typically gets into the end zone, so that would be pretty good for the captain side of things. And then let's hope for a shootout where both quarterbacks are just throwing touchdowns. That's what I got for this Monday Night Football game. Do with it what you will, and at your own risk if you're using my lineups, obviously. But